wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Bee, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, talks like a spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Alrighty, here we go. Happy Monday. What is going on? Welcome to the KVJ show. Look who's back.
Yay!
Wow. I feel like we haven't seen you in like a month.
I feel like I got out of prison.
Yeah.
I'm a little hardened.
It's been a while. You are, huh? Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's been a good almost full 2 weeks
I know.
since Bird's been in here. Went down with the vid and had to do the rebound and then get back in here.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Dennys over the weekend, but y'all pretty much are the first people I'm seeing. It's nice to be around people.
Getting back out into society, what'd you do this weekend? Because you were able to kind of go out and get back into the world a bit.
I didn't do much. I went out, did a little grocery shopping.
Okay.
And that's pretty much all I did. I did a little bit of some work for KVJ, and that was really about it.
Okay. Well, there you go. Back at it.
But back, baby, ready to go.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're the same as before you had COVID, or do you? Because we hear so many people talk about those residuals.
Yeah, you still kind of feel like you're in a dreamlike state a bit. That's the one lingering kind of a thing. But
Kind
my
of a little
temperature,
sluggish a bit.
yeah, sluggish,
Yeah.
and just feeling like you're in a dream.
Okay.
No taste buds still, and the smell is not there yet.
Wow. Okay.
I know.
Wow. Well, that's an odd thing.
It's my moneymaker, Virginia.
I know.
Okay. I think we're having a little bit of fun with your taste buds a little bit later on today.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Give me cat poop. I won't know.
Well, they say if you like start putting harsh tastes and smells in your body, that you can help your taste and your smell come back quicker.
Yeah, let's kickstart this thing.
Exactly.
Okay. So does that mean, is that a foreshadowing that we're going to give him some nasty stuff later?
Well, yeah, of course it is.
Okay. All right, I figured.
I'm kind of looking forward to it because I want to see if I can't really taste any of it.
Okay.
I don't see how I could.
Okay. Well,
Nasty party.
put to the test. So if you want to see the full KVJ back in studio, just download KVJ TV, go to YouTube, and just look for the KVJ show. We are right there.
It's the KVJ dirt of the day. It's the KVJ dirt of the day. Virginia, take it away, cause you know we need that dirt of the day.
Well, it looks like J-Lo is erasing all photos and memories and everything of A-Rod from her social media accounts. Fans noticed over the weekend that, wow, okay, she deleted a lot of stuff. And yeah, it was anything that involved A-Rod, any pictures that he was around her and his family too. So,
Whoa, okay.
yeah, looks like she is trying to pretend like it never happened.
I know some people that do that. They will have somebody 3 years, 4 years in a relationship, and then someone cheats and they delete all of the photos. Gone.
Dang. It looks like your girl Lizzo took to social media again to have a little vent session and have a little emotional moment.
Okay.
I think she does this pretty frequently.
Don't read the comments.
Okay. All right.
People who have something mean to say about you. And for the most part, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't care. I just think when I'm working this hard, my tolerance gets lower. My patience is lower. I'm more sensitive. And it gets to me.
Yeah, don't read the
Okay.
comments.
Yeah, you shouldn't read the comments.
You're going to always find someone who hates you on the internet.
Yeah.
And finally here, police had to arrest a guy who had traveled from out of town to find Taylor Swift. He was arrested in her New York City apartment building. They say that he was in the lobby area and she wasn't there at the time, but he knew that she was going to be coming home soon, and he was laying in wait, and the police were like,
Oh,
wait a minute.
jeez.
I feel like she's got a lot of these weird stalkers that get close to her.
I know. You think, she would have a little bit better of a security. I don't know.
You think she's planting these stories?
Maybe. And that is what's going on in your dirt.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What
All right, we got him back in studio. So, Bird, what you got on your mind here today?
It's great to be back, first of all. Thank you for all the warm wishes from KVJ Nation. Very kind. I do have some news in the snack world. Do you know how we're always talking about, especially Uncrustables, how the honey peanut butter ones seem to not be in the stores anymore? Because I think, doesn't Rocco like them?
He does. So the thing was, while it was summertime, I think a lot of parents bought those out to feed the kids during summer. But now the kids are back in school, those Uncrustables are going to be easier to find.
That's actually not what happened. There's a whole article of what happened, specifically honey Uncrustables, the pandemic. There was a shortage. They scaled back. In fact, many companies scaled back what they would call their B items. I don't think it's a B item. I think it's the best thing Uncrustables has.
Okay.
But they took the honey off the shelves. They still had some, but it was way down. And other people did it too. General Mills, with their soups, they took out some of the flavors that they had. But good news, it's coming back. The end of 2021, You're going to start seeing the soups coming back. The Uncrustables are coming back.
Nice.
It's a good day, my friends.
Okay. It's good to know. Glad we got that mystery solved.
I'm back talking about stuff that nobody cares about.
And your taste buds still aren't here?
They're not here, man. The smell and the taste buds are gone.
Untastables.
Untastables. That's you.
I want to try to kick up my taste buds. I'll do whatever I got to do to kickstart this thing.
Okay.
All right.
What you got on your mind today, Virginia?
Well, we talked about this a little bit a few weeks ago, but I just want to put this on everybody's little calendar. There is a World War II veteran who's turning 100, and this Saturday they're doing one of those drive-by birthday parades for him.
Yes.
And it's going to be so cute. We're all going to meet at Dwyer High School right before noon, and I'll post some stuff on social media about it. But can you just imagine? I mean, the stories this cat could tell, turning 100, fought in the World War II.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Kind of deserves a USA.
What? USA? What?
Yeah.
USA? Yeah, so that's this Saturday.
Okay.
I'll post info for everybody.
Okay. Would you guys be cool with renting your clothes? Apparently a lot of Gen Z people are. In fact, that's kind of one of the latest trends that is going on now is renting clothes instead of buying them. Now, they say they still want their clothes to be fashionable, but they don't necessarily need to own them. It's partly about money, but also sustainability. They say that young people tend to care more about recycling clothes and not wasting resources. And when you include everything from shirts to socks, they say the average person buys 67 new pieces of clothing every single year. Wow. So how about that? I don't know. It's an interesting concept. Because, I do know that it is kind of fun to always wear something new and different. But at the same time, it is kind of challenging to find something you look good in, that fits well, that you're going to wear. So it would make the process a lot more difficult, I would think, to rent clothes rather than owning.
I hate the idea.
There's a website called Rent the Runway. And your girl was doing that same thing here locally, where you just...
Who's girl?
You brought her in here from your church, I think. They had like a business where they were doing clothes, rental.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do this now. You can do it with purses, bag, borrow, or steal. You can rent your fine, high-quality designer purses.
Well, they had something, the people that we were talking about, their concept was, say, for instance, you go skiing and you live in South Florida. You're not often going to be wearing ski clothes around South Florida. So when you would fly to Aspen or wherever you might go, you land, you get into the hotel, and your clothes are all there for you because you wouldn't really ever wear them again except for here. So this concept about renting clothes is something like this would be your everyday wear you still would rent. The problem I see with it, and I could see it working sometimes, but if you're talking about what you wear every day, 5-7 days a week, whatever it might be, that seems to be a lot of work. I think too much for me. Now, if you're talking about special occasions, how often do you go out to a cool party and something that's trendy and this and that? That might be cool to rent that outfit because how often are you going to wear it? So maybe that makes sense there.
Yeah, my sister does that. Whenever she goes on vacation, she gets stuff from Rent the Runway.
Okay.
And has like 4 or 5 fabulous dresses that she'll wear out to dinner.
That's kind of cool then.
And then you send them all back in a box.
I wear things way too hard. I live life too hard. I can't be renting shirts and then giving them back. You'd never get the same quality
I don't
of
think
shirt.
this would be a good service
It's
for
not.
the bird.
It's not for me.
Not for the bird.
Stains and pains.
Just it wouldn't be. It's not good.
Yeah, but apparently a lot of people are liking it because they say that it's growing. More and more people rent their clothes for different events. And apparently the younger you are, the more likely you are to do it. They say that young kids still are wearing a lot of classic rock T-shirts. That still hasn't gone out of style.
No, I see kids wear Metallica a lot. Metallica and AC/DC, those are always going strong, and they're always selling them at Target.
AC/DC's #1, according to Rush Order Tees. They are pretty much one of the leaders when it comes to sending out and mailing out band T-shirts. AC/DC's #1. I thought I would have chosen the exact same. I would have gone Metallica because I do see Metallica a lot. When it came to band art, when I was young, when Metallica was actually popular, and now kids just wear the shirts because like, it's pretty cool, man. It's got skulls all over it. They had a lot of cool T-shirts, but Metallica not even in the top 10. Just missed out.
I swear, Target and Walmart sells a lot of those old school heavy metal shirts.
They do well. So, like I said, I was surprised to not see Metallica in the top 10. They say AC/DC's #1, followed by Aerosmith, Queen, Pink Floyd, Green Day, Bob Marley at 6, Foo Fighters at 7, the Beatles, Prince, and Ariana Grande is the top 10 that they send out. Are you seeing a lot of Ariana Grande T-shirts?
I haven't, but
Must be with the younger kids. I don't know.
I haven't been looking either.
Yeah. Eminem, Nirvana just missed out on the top 10.
Nirvana's another one I see. They always got Walmart or Target's always peddling a Nirvana something.
Yeah, so there you go. That's what's going on with the fashion these days. Would you let your kid ruin your good friendship, or would you tell the kid to suck it up in this situation? Somebody sent us an email and said, I have a really good friend and I really like her. Not only do I really like her personally, but she also seems to have a lot of friends. And because of this, I've been included in so many fun things with other moms. Well, the way we met was because her daughter and my daughter were friends. And in those 2 years, our girls seem to have actually grown apart as we've grown more together. However, they are still forced to be around each other a lot because their moms hang out. Well, my daughter is having a birthday party in a couple of weeks, and I'm sending out the invites right now. So my daughter doesn't want to invite my friend's daughter at all. She says they fight a lot because the other girl is mean to her and her other friends. So she feels very strongly that she doesn't want her invited. However, I'm afraid if I don't invite her daughter, my friend's likely going to be mad and insulted and would likely hurt our friendship. So do I force my daughter to invite someone for my benefit, or do I take the risk of losing a friendship so my daughter can choose her own friends and party guests? Jenny, I can see you being in this situation. How would you handle it? What would you do if this was going on with one of your really close friends, and imagine her daughter, at least at one point, was friends with Magnolia and now is not?
This would be tough because, I mean, you don't want to force your daughter to have somebody at her party that she doesn't want there at her party. It's her birthday party.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks that the daughters aren't getting along, but the moms are. Mm-hmm. What if you went to your friend and talked to her about this and said, look, I don't know what's going on with these girls, but my daughter's telling me they've grown apart. Have you sensed any of this at all? And maybe just be honest with your friend.
Didn't everybody kind of grow up with a one friend you didn't really like them that much, but they were always around because they were the friend of a mom. They were there. You were forced to. You didn't really like them,
right?
But you had to play with them.
Yeah,
we ought to go through that.
I think it does happen quite often. So what is the right way for parents to handle this? Do you keep forcing the kids together when they don't want to be together? Or do you just need to be grown-up, mature adults and say, hey, at some point, our kids probably don't like each other. Doesn't mean we don't have to.
But what was the drama that happened? If it's not that big a drama, could we not have a teachable moment here and say, hey, look, sometimes there's people you're not going to really like. You have to be around.
She says that they fight a lot because the other girl is mean to her and her other friends. So you got a meanie pants that she doesn't want to have around. And that's why.
And how old are these girls? Does it say?
It does not. No, I don't have an age on that.
It reeks of about 15, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, once you get teenagers, they're going to start doing their own thing anyway. And so these play dates where you have to go with mom and hang out, and like, those are going to be irrelevant anyway. The time that they would be spending together is probably going to be minimized over the coming years significantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But just be honest with your friend, I think, and say, look, I think our girls have grown apart. Is your girl going to be insulted if we don't invite her to the birthday party?
The opposite sort of happened growing up. My brother had a girlfriend and they broke up, but my mom stayed friends with his ex-girlfriend and he was so mad about that.
Right,
She's
yeah.
like, Mom, what are you doing?
Yeah, it is tough, and that probably will happen at least, once in your life. That kind of situation is probably going to reveal itself. So, yeah, a lot of people are texting in saying, yeah, the mom needs to just talk to her friend, explain the situation. The girl should not have to invite somebody that she's not friends with.
Your birthday party.
Yeah, it's your
That's what
birthday.
stinks.
Like, yeah, you should be able to pick the guest list at your own birthday.
Right. Yeah, that seems right. So, if she's a friend worth having, she will hopefully understand, and you guys can work through it and understand that, you guys can like each other even if your kids don't. Got this email from Christina. She's got a question for the people out there. She said, I know someone has been through this before. My daughter is 4 and just started VPK. That's what, pre-kindergarten? Is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah.
And she cries every morning going. She says that she just loves me and wants to stay with me forever. She goes 9 to 12, so she's not there long at all. She wants me to get a big eraser and take her name off the school list. What are some tricks I can do to help ease her? Thank you from a mom whose heartstrings are pulled. Okay. Yeah.
It's hard because we went through this with Rocco, and I mean, you've got to maybe think about, is this the perfect school for her? Mm-hmm. Are they maybe not giving her as much love as you would want? And we switched Rocco to a more loving VPK because I don't think he was getting the snuggles and the care that he needed.
Okay.
And it sounds like her daughter might be like Rocco, a little bit more needing that comfort, needing that sweet VPK.
What would you do if you kept going through different VPKs and the kid doesn't seem to adjust to any of them?
Gotta start bribing the kid with cookies.
Yeah. You know what? I thought I'd get the Mexican Queen on here, my wife, because she deals with this. In fact, she brought this up the other day that she sees this because she teaches the VPK. Hello, Queen.
Hi there.
Hello. Now, you had mentioned this, that you'll see this from time to time, and this mom sent us an email. She's got a 4-year-old that just started VPK, and she's crying every morning, and she says that, she doesn't want me to leave and all that kind of stuff. What would you tell some of these parents? Because I know this is something that you guys have to deal with a good bit, where kids are crying, and so what is a good policy, and what would you tell this mom to do with her kid?
Right. Well, the first thing that, parents have to realize, as soon as they get through that door, they're no longer crying. They forget about it because they're in their school environment. They're with their friends. They're seeing, everybody else going about their day as normal. So that's the first thing. So, yes, the crying happens like drop off. And the one thing that we always tell our parents, it just has to be, there has to be a routine. Mom can't get out of the car. And you have to say your goodbyes, and you kind of have to prep them. It's like anything, from the day before to the next day. So with these crying kids, I always prep them. I will call them aside, or I'll say, "Hey, Johnny, come see me. I noticed when you came to school today, you were crying."
Is that your teacher voice right there, Kim?
That's my teacher voice.
Okay,
And
that's
so
teacher voice. Okay.
I will ask them, and then I will give them an opportunity to talk to me. Now, throughout the day, they know I am their safekeeper. I keep them safe. We talk about ways that I'm going to keep them safe, and they know that mom would not drop them off anywhere that's not safe.
Well, let me ask you real quick, Kim. I just had a question to what Virginia's point was. How do you know when you got to just be tougher with your kids and have the drop off, and how do you know when maybe you're sending them to a wicked teacher or somebody that's not caring enough for the kid? Is there a way to know with your kid which that situation is?
Yeah, there's a number of things. Kids can, they might not get enough sleep. Kids nowadays, you see a lot of them coming to school not eating. So, they need to eat in the morning. They need to get good rest. And if they're still continuing the crying, you need to change the drop-off routine. Maybe have a neighbor drop off. Maybe have, if the kid doesn't cry as much with dad, maybe have dad drop off. Or if it's vice versa, the mom.
Hey, is there a certain window? Because somebody just texted and said it usually takes 2 weeks. That a lot of parents right now, if you've got a kid that's young and you're sending them in there and they're crying every single day, that maybe after about 2 weeks, do you notice that cycle kind of breaks?
It does, and it really should. And it deals with a lot of the teachers, really having that relationship with the child, even at a young age. You have to show them respect. And and that's what I do. I call them aside and I'll talk to them. We'll pinky promise. We'll do a lot of fun little different things.
Okay.
Hey, Mom, I want to see you with your face looking like this. And they'll look at me and they'll give me that, they'll look at me with a smile.
So you'll just basically say that, this mom, it's like, don't worry about it. Just maybe give a little bit of time and your kid's going to be fine. So don't play into it and kids will do that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of taking kids out of school. I just know they will adjust.
Okay. All right. Very nice. Well, I just wanted to get your thoughts on this. I know that the kids are wanting to know, and kids are going back, and moms are kind of dealing with this. So how long did it take for Rocco, Virginia, for him to kind of break his thing?
When we switched schools, he was great. I think the problem was the school he was at. And I know that Kim doesn't agree with that. But, we had it set up where we could see, because there was a camera in the preschool where you could log on at any point during the day and check on your kid and see your kid in the class. And Rocco was just standing in the corner just crying. And nobody was comforting him. Nobody was coming over to him and holding him and making him feel better. I was watching him stand in the corner and cry on the camera. And after about a month of that, I'm like, okay, this is not the place for him. He's not getting what he needs. Yeah. And as soon as he went to a different preschool, he got what he needed. He got the love, and it totally turned around.
So that's the challenge, is knowing, is it your kid or is it the preschool?
Yeah.
That is the problem.
Those cameras really helped, because otherwise I wouldn't have known what was going on. I think his first preschool teacher was overwhelmed. I think that she was younger. I think that she didn't have the experience as the second school we brought him to. And I think that it's a level too of do they care?
I wish there was cameras back when I went to school in the 80s in Lake Park. There was some weird stuff going on in the classroom.
I'm wondering if this will be more standard, cameras in classrooms, because you do have that kid versus the teacher and who's really telling the truth, because we do have stories about sketchy teachers doing bad things, but then we know there's a lot of bad kids. And whenever kids pull out their smartphones now and record incidences in classrooms, how often does that come up in cases? That, would that be something that every parent would like, to be able to check in to see what's happening in their kid's classroom?
I just thought it was weird, especially in kindergarten when it was your birthday, that you either got the teacher either hugged you, they tickled you, or then there was a spanking involved.
Parents
too.
probably would want to see that.
So weird.
Once your kid comes home and tells you that, you will only be able to look and say, let me go back and review what that looked like.
I remember that going on as a kid, but I wish I had it on camera, just because even saying it out loud, it seems crazy.
Kim, do you have cameras in your classroom? Do you think that'd be a good idea for all classes?
Oh, absolutely. We have cameras in our classroom.
You do?
It's just for the protection of the teacher.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to come up, and the cameras are there to protect the teacher.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your perspective. Appreciate it, Kim.
Oh, my pleasure.
Okay. There you go. So that's the Mexican queen, and deals with it all the time. It's kind of an interesting thing, though, because if this mom, Christina, you could be dealing with one of two things. Either your kid's a little soft and you got to kind of have a routine and realize that when they get in there, they're cool. Or two, yeah, maybe you've got a VPK teacher that is overwhelmed and doesn't know how to deal with kids and make them feel comfortable. So, any other questions you ever have, we'd be happy to help you out. You can send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com, mail@kvjshow.com. Oh, for that mom that didn't know what to do with her 4-year-old that cries every day at school, here's another solution for mom. I saw that moms with young kids, they say increase their alcohol consumption by nearly 325% between the start of the pandemic and the end of last year. So that seems to be another way to handle it, too. We didn't mention that. That's unfair to alcohol to not give you that recipe there, moms. Yeah, they say that these situations set it up well with the relaxed alcohol regulations. And to me, the one thing that I love that still blows my mind is you can get your booze to go now.
Yes.
And it's now actually a regulation. They've got to do that.
It doesn't seem right, though, does it?
It doesn't seem right, but it's pretty amazing. I went to Dixie Bar and Grill, and they give you a pouch that looks like you just donated blood, and you get to walk out with your wine. I'm like, this is the best thing ever. It's one of the small perks that came with this stupid pandemic. And I'm like, okay, I'm digging this.
Yeah, I am starting to see people get a little sloppy when they're grocery shopping these days.
Yes.
We're
getting a little loose. Getting a little loose. All right, well, apparently Bird and Dennys are thinking about a side hustle business, but is it anything that will make them any money? What are you guys thinking about doing as your side hustle?
Gonna build a greenhouse?
No.
Because that seems like that'd be a great idea.
I think you two would excel.
We talked about this a while ago. Back in the day, my dad in the 70s used to make rings. He used to make these, rings you put on your finger.
Jewelry?
Okay. Jewelry, yeah. He'd make his own. And I must have been talking about it because his cat reached out to me and Dennys, who wants me and Dennys to be a part of his ring company, and we would help design the rings and get a piece of the action. But here's my question. Do people even care about rings anymore?
What is the action? Yeah, I'm just curious.
I mean, what kind of market does and it's the kind of rings that look like they're mood rings, they're paisley rings.
I see girls wearing a lot of rings. I think that, there's still a business for that. But I mean, what your connection would be and how well you be or how good you guys would be at designing rings for girls. I don't know about guys. I mean, some Italian dudes like those pinky rings still, but
Dennys is a great artist.
I don't doubt
the face
that.
of the franchise.
Yeah, we're just the creative team behind this, but everything that's old is new. We were thinking it's about that time where I think mood rings, these type of weird, kind of like nostalgic rings are in style.
I love mood rings.
Hippie rings. Imagine that. These two want to bring back hippie jewelry.
Yeah. I feel like it's right for the times.
But not only regular finger rings, we're talking toe rings. Do you ever have a mood toe ring?
No.
Exactly. We're going to bring that to the people.
Who is this partner that has the ring business?
He's a KVJ Nationer. He's heard us talk. We've met him at some events. His name's Shane. Does that name ring a bell?
No.
Shane, I think we might have met him at the Crazy Horse.
Oh, gosh. Crazy Horse. That was a little fuzzy.
That was real fuzzy.
Yeah, the only thing I heard you talking about with the Crazy Horse was shame, not shame.
Shame. Yes. So much shame.
Dude, does the public want mood rings? You go to a convenience store, you see some mood rings with a little different flair.
Yeah, I don't know if they've ever necessarily gone out. Somebody just texted in and said, yeah, rings are still in. I absolutely love jewelry. I don't know who this person is. That might be Shane texting us. I don't know.
Playing dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are we ring people now?
I don't know. I guess you just have to jump in. I mean, it's not going to cost you anything other than just your time and your effort. And if you make money off of it, great. If you don't, then oh well.
That's what we
tried
figured.
something.
Plus, it's in my bloodline.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
My father before me was a ring man.
Yeah.
So
you guys could do a father-son inspired ring together.
The Juicy Daddy line.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. See,
Okay.
that's the sound you make. Ooh.
Juicy Daddy.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd plan on retiring on this, but it might be a little fun side hustle.
I don't know if I don't hate that line. The Juicy Daddy ring line.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe he's the face of the franchise.
Check it for copyright.
Something tells me
It feels safe. I don't know. We'll see, though. Jbird got a positive word here for your side hustle. You wanted to do a ring business with Dennys. Somebody's going to cut you in on this. Somebody texted in and said, yeah, my daughter's living in New York and is in the fashion industry. You know, the big old Fashion Avenue they got up there.
Oh, yeah.
She said that rings are very much in, even for guys. However, she doesn't think it's nationwide. It's kind of in certain cities.
Okay. All
so
right.
in South Florida, are guys wearing a lot of rings? Is it just a girl thing? Because you guys are going to be designing more of the guy ring, I assume, from the sounds of it.
You remember when we did the Crawfish Festival? They had some ring vendor there, and somebody thought I worked for the ring guy. They came up to me asking about the rings.
You look like a guy that would be an artisan vendor.
I agree.
Yeah,
with
you got that look.
I feel like the universe is telling me something, man.
Yes, you've cultivated the look. Now you just got to jump in the field.
I got to sell rings. I'm a ring guy.
So there you go. All right. Well, thank you for that insight. Looking for another easy cash hustle? Why don't you try this?
97.9 WRMF app cash codes.
Your code word is LISTEN. LISTEN.
Enter that code word on our 97.9 WRMF app for your chance at $1,000. Good luck in this nationwide contest from 97.9 WRMF.
I want to put the call out and a call of care, too. Got a lot of sympathy and concern for our friends and neighbors in Haiti. You probably had seen over the weekend they got hit with another earthquake.
Yes.
Which is just, it's one thing after another going on with our poor friends in Haiti. They had the issue with their president being assassinated not too long ago, and they had the 7.2 magnitude earthquake. The death toll is near 1,300 people and about 5,700 injured. So that is something else they're having to deal with. And here we are at hurricane season. I know there's just one storm after another. It seems to be coming up the pike.
Yes, there's like 3 out there brewing right now.
Mm-hmm. I have a stupid question.
Okay, please.
Has Florida ever in the history of the state ever have a hurricane or a earthquake? Have we ever experienced any kind of earthquake, or does that never happen in Florida?
You know, earthquakes are happening in places you wouldn't expect. I don't remember one that has happened, but there might be one that was in northern Florida, somewhere around there. I think there are some fault lines, and oddly enough, places like Tennessee and Missouri and places like that you don't expect or think of when it comes to earthquakes still have them. One that's devastating, I don't know of one that's devastating, but I'm sure as far as tremors or a 3 or 4, I would wager to say that has happened.
But the fact that you can't really even think and have a legit answer makes you...
It's thankfully, of everything else we have to worry about in South Florida, thank the good Lord, we don't seem to have a major fault line that at least is active.
We have to deal with enough other stuff. If we had to do hurricanes and then earthquakes, it's a lot.
Earthquakes scare me more than I think a hurricane or even a tornado. Earthquakes are horrifying to me.
Well, you don't really know that they're coming. They just, out of nowhere, the ground just starts shaking, and then you just are in the midst of it, hoping that it's not going to get too bad. It is weird. It's an eerie situation. I've been through a few, and it's very odd.
You ever been through a earthquake, Virginia?
Yes. Yes, when I was younger and we lived, I was little, but we lived in Tennessee for like a year.
Okay.
And I was like 3, I think. And I remember like everything shaking in the house and stuff like falling off of shelves.
I wonder, out of the two of you, who was in the bigger earthquake?
Me.
You, Kevin?
Yeah. I was there for the Northridge one in California.
Oh.
That was a bigger one.
Wow.
I don't know the name of my earthquake.
If yours doesn't have a name, it ain't that big. It ain't that big.
Kevin wins.
Yeah. The good news for Haiti is that Grace has weakened to a tropical depression as it gets near Haiti. So I guess if anything, that at least this storm is back down a little bit. And they say the threat to Florida, too, has decreased a good bit. The path is aiming for the Gulf.
Good.
So as Fred did. So again, just, our biggest thoughts and concerns go to our friends in Haiti today. Got a few celebrity birthdays today. Shout out happy birthday to Steve Carell. He is turning 59 years old today. Kelly Clarkson. You know what? And you always watch on these shows where they don't play the age of the person they are. And I was watching Morning Show, which, he was on. It's on Apple TV. And they made reference to it while he was on the show. And that show has been out, 2-3 years maybe?
Yeah.
Tops. And they made reference, and his wife in the show, she's like, well, you're getting ready to turn 50. I'm like, there's no way Steve Carell is only like 49 years old.
Oh, in the show?
In the show.
Yeah.
He was playing a guy just turned 50. Today, he's 59.
Well, it's like the one dude, Andrew Garfield, when he played Spider-Man. I never for a minute thought he was in high school.
No,
He did not look like he was in high school. He looked like a man.
They're like 30 years old.
Yeah.
They're playing high school students. Yeah. They do that when they get older, too, apparently. Madonna turned 63 years old today. In 2 years, she can retire. Angela Bassett is also 63 today, and Kathy Lee Gifford turns 68. A couple of birthdays here today. Happy birthday, Summer, from Eric, Cade, and Dean. Sending love. Also got a birthday shout out here to Steve, the best brother ever. Thanks for always having my back. It's from your big sister, Fran. Also, I got a photo of them right there on Kvj TV. Thanks for sending that.
Aww.
Happy 6th birthday to little Spank guy from Mom, Dad, Jade, and Kaylee. Got a photo of him right there on Kvj TV. You can check out.
What a cutie.
Also, happy 15th birthday to Charlo from Mom. And we got a birthday shout out to the most amazing sister, Camille. That is from Chelsea, Ian, and the pups. A small photo there you can see on Kvj TV. Got a birthday, got a photo, want to send it to us. Mail at kvjshow.com. mail at kvjshow.com. All right, it is a Monday. Hopefully you have woken up here. You don't have much chance before we throw around the Think Fast at you. Okay, got to get those membranes going here today. Let's see Bird back in studio for the first time in, over a week now?
It's 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah,
You
almost
still got
2
that
weeks.
COVID brain fog?
I don't know. We're going to see how it goes. If I win this, that just shows you how dumb you are.
Okay, let's see who can come up with the best answer the fastest. Got to make some sense to get credit here. All right, first up, think fast. Between Virginia, Jbird, and Dennys. A stringed instrument starting with the letter B.
Bass!
Bassoon. Bass, yeah.
Yeah.
Space.
Woo!
Wow. Okay. Pretty impressive there, Bird. He's off to a 1-zip start.
I'm just letting y'all know I want this win.
Okay, next up, think fast. A charity starting with the letter A.
Alzheimer's Foundation.
Okay. It's odd you remembered that.
I'm going to need it one day.
Yes. Okay, Virginia is on the board. Next up, something your doctor might tell you to quit, starting with the letter D.
Drugs.
Oh, okay. Virginia just in a little bit quicker than the Bird.
You're going to hurt yourself yelling like that.
Mind your own business, man.
At least we know his lungs are okay from COVID.
Well, he screamed and he grabbed his chest like he was having a pain.
All part of the strategy.
He hurt himself.
Okay, think fast. Something you would find on a farm that starts with the letter H.
Horse!
What'd you say, Virginia?
Horse.
Suits, you get in first or Bird? Okay, Sam, Virginia.
Oh, get out of here.
Okay.
Suits.
Okay, Virginia's now got a strong 3-1 lead. All right, she can possibly wrap it up here.
Where you at? Where you at, COVID?
Dennys, where you at?
Okay, it's a common roadkill animal starting with the letter R.
Rat!
Raccoon.
Rat. Rat's very prevalent. Jupiter Farms.
You said raccoon, Virginia?
Yeah.
What do you think, Suits? I don't know. Have you ever seen a dead rat from roadkill?
Oh,
No.
there's
All right,
many
Virginia
rat
gets the
problems.
point.
Many rat.
Raccoon.
Street rat problem.
Street rat.
Street. You are a street rat.
Rob, Denny.
Look at that. Virginia, boy, coming on strong there at the back end. Very nice. Quick little round of think fast here.
In your face, COVID, Carl.
It hurts. I wanted to win. I did.
It's all right, baby. It's all right. Nobody's expecting much. I mean, you just got back into the swing of things. Give it a little bit of time. I thought this is kind of interesting. They're now saying that your metabolism doesn't slow until the age of 60. So what's your excuse? Is that true?
I don't feel like that's true.
You're
Is it that we're just not exercising and we blame it on the metabolism, but we're really just eating poor?
pretty much, yeah. Yeah. That's kind of what it is. It seems they said that it's almost a psychological condition where moms and dads think, you know what? It's not really my fault. It's just, my body's slowing down, so I'm not going to take the blame. So they really kind of stop trying as hard as maybe they should to eat healthy and to move a little bit more. And then they pack on the pounds, being, hey, what are you going to do? Metabolism slowed down.
Yeah, but you just ate 9 pies.
Right. Yeah, they say that it doesn't slow down nearly what people think. In fact, they say pretty much right at about the age of 60. But from the ages of 20 to 60, they say, it plateaus a little bit, but it stays pretty consistent. So I guess what they're saying here is if you're 50 years old, you should have about the same metabolism as somebody who's 30. It should be about the same level. Even though we don't often look the same at 50 as we did when we were 30.
When you first got into college, did you gain that freshman 10 that they always talk about?
Or 15?
I did, and I didn't even drink, and I got fat and didn't realize I got fat until people started calling me fat. I was walking around the dorm room without a shirt on, and everyone started calling me fat all of a sudden. I'd never heard that
all
before.
All of a sudden, I just came out of nowhere.
I was skinny in high school.
It can be surprising when you learn that you're fat and you didn't know.
I didn't know. I had bosoms and did not know that.
You really?
I
just
really
gotta...
Antonio Bostic called me out in front of everybody and said,
oh, man.
Penny, you are fat all of a sudden. I'm like, oh my gosh, what?
Yeah, I thought this is rather interesting because, I think that we do often, always ascribe to, hey, your metabolism is really cranking when you're a teenager. But, oddly enough, I was kind of fat at the age of 13. It wasn't until I was 14 I started losing some weight, but I really did something drastic in how I was eating to change that.
Bubba Chunks. You were called Bubba Chunks and it hurt you.
Yeah, lard bunny, all kinds of terrible things they called me.
So painful.
But I made choices to change that. They say that actually your metabolism peaks when you're around the age of 1. You ever seen like a chubby baby? And all of a sudden they kind of start leaning out.
Yeah.
So I guess you got all that kind of fat, but then around the age of 1, your metabolism starts cranking up, and then that's how you start, burning through that baby fat.
Okay.
And you'll see kids change. And then they say, it will gradually slow down until we're around 20. And then it kind of plateaus from the age 20 to 60. So that's just what they're saying. And I think the whole point of this is, if you're 40 or 50 and you're just chalking it up your metabolism, that may not necessarily be the case. It may be that you've decided to go a little bit lax in your diet and your workout routines.
Well, you're, drinking chocolate beer and eating pound cake. Yeah.
Yes. They do throw a lot of great, delicious stuff at you, don't they?
They do.
In fact, what do you think about this? Chocolate soda.
Oh, just my game.
You are just speaking his language, Kevin.
Doesn't sound great for the teeth, but
probably not great for the teeth, not going to be good for the waistline, but Dr. Pepper has now created a new chocolate-flavored version.
Ooh.
It's weird that we haven't seen this.
I guess maybe
really.
it is. Yeah, I don't know. You would think maybe somewhere they had done a trial and somebody tried chocolate soda and they're like, that's disgusting. And nobody's ever questioned it. But Dr. Pepper's coming out with it. It's called Dr. Pepper Fantastic Chocolate.
Ooh, I'm into this.
Now, they're doing a little bit of a trick to get it. It's for Pepper Perks members. So they want you to join probably their app, their club, whatever it might be. And then you can scan your receipt for other Dr. Pepper products you buy. So they only want the Dr. Pepper diehards to get this chocolate soda.
I'm a Pepper Perks member, so I'm good.
Good, okay. They say once you've got
Of
enough
course
points,
you are. He's a card-carrying member.
Yeah.
Proud member of the Pepper Perks Club.
Dr. Pepper, they do great things.
Yes. They say you need at least 100 points, but it sounds like you can get that pretty easily. Just even buying like a single 2-liter, I think, gives you that.
They could make a gross soda. This could go either way. This could be really gnarly.
Yeah. Well, you don't have your taste buds, so unfortunately you can't tell us here this week.
I'd love to taste chocolate soda right now.
I know.
Oh,
this is so sad, isn't it?
I know. I keep getting taunted by those sugar cookie toast crunch we have in the corner here in the studio. Family style. No one's even opened up that box. Can't taste any of it.
Did you eat bad this weekend?
I ate terrible this weekend.
And you couldn't taste any of it?
Not a thing.
It's so weird.
It is weird. But just the idea of knowing.
Just knowing that you're putting bad things in your mouth makes you comfortable.
Oh, I ate so much pizza this weekend. Couldn't taste any of it.
That's bizarre.
Well, if you want the chocolate flavored Dr. Pepper, you go to earnrewards.com/Dr. Pepper to get it. Coming up here, we're actually going to be checking to see, did Jbird really lose his sense of taste and smell? We're at least going to be checking out. Are we doing taste today, Virginia?
We'll do whatever you want. I brought everything.
Okay, I think we'll check out the taste today because we're going to have Jbird do a blindfold taste test. Can he tell us what he's trying? And yeah, a few of these items obviously are things he wouldn't normally put in his mouth.
As long as you're not feeding me chocolate baby socks again.
I know it's way worse than that.
I was choked on that.
All right, so how are Jbird's taste tests? Are they completely gone? The taste buds, we'll find out coming up next here on the KVJ Show. Bird is back with us for the first time in 9 shows. He's been out with COVID. Now, he seems to be feeling a little bit better. Said he's kind of in that weird feeling like dream state still, which that's just that fog that a lot of people deal with when they got the COVID.
The brain fog.
Yeah, it does feel very
fog.
dreamlike.
Yeah, so he's kind of dealing with that. But, you know, he did have the sad byproduct of losing both his taste and smell. Don't know. It's different for different people. There's a lot of people that are doing smell training, trying to get theirs back. Some people have success, some don't. I know my wife is pretty much at about a year since she lost her sense of smell.
Wow.
She can taste, though?
She can taste, yeah.
Fully?
I think so, yeah. She said it didn't have any effect on that.
What I'm hearing is people get their taste buds back and things they once loved, they don't like it. Tastes different. Now, I don't think that's everybody. I don't think it's a common thing, but it's happening to some people.
People are having it. It's weird stuff. Things don't taste the way they remembered, or foods that they loved, they now don't. So it's you know, with COVID, everybody's story is oddly unique. For the most part. Now, there are some similarities and symptoms and whatever, but it's just fascinating. All the people I keep talking to, I'm like, I never heard that before.
What's weird is I can't smell anything, but out of the blue, I will get these really random smells for a fleeting second. I kept smelling white fudge. Specifically from the fairgrounds here in West Palm Beach. It's got its own smell and taste.
Yeah.
And for like an hour, I would get little fleeting moments of that.
Well, maybe there's something positive there.
But I can't taste nothing. I do want that fudge, though.
I know you do.
Oh, mama.
Yeah. You said that even though you couldn't taste anything, you still ate kind of bad over the weekend.
I ate real bad over the weekend. I had it was a pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza ice cream weekend.
Oh, okay.
Those Nestle.
You mean pizza separately from ice cream, or did you have an ice cream flavored pizza?
No, it was regular pizza. Then I just been getting down on them drumsticks. I can't stop eating them.
Okay.
Fat Kevin.
You know you can't taste them, huh?
Yeah, it's the texture. I like the crunch into the hard chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
It soothes me.
Okay, all right.
does.
Well, you need some soothing. So we're going to put this to the test. We're going to have you blindfolded, and Virginia's got different items here for you to try to identify.
Okay.
The only ally that you likely have is going to be texture and feel. So is that going to be enough for you to be able to identify these items or not? Now, Dennys, what I probably should have you do is if you can block Jbird's ears with some sound here so that he can't hear, because I want to be able to tell the audience what he is about to try.
Do you need me to leave?
No, we'll just have you block yours. Dennys can give you some audio here.
I don't know if I've ever missed a taste test challenge. This is going to be very painful.
You're clearly handicapped now, so this doesn't go on your permanent record, right?
Yes.
I mean, we can all agree that,
So we're not going to count this.
This isn't fair.
Well, I know we pride ourselves on stats with this show.
Yeah, we do. We do. Okay, so we're going to plug you in here. We're going to let you know the first of what's going to be 5 items.
Okay.
We'll see if you can identify any correct. Again, we're saying it's probably going to be on texture. Okay, Virginia, what is going to be our first item here for Jbird's challenge?
So you said you wanted to start with something good.
Mm-hmm.
So we're starting with homemade baked macaroni and cheese.
Oh, he would love that.
Oh, he would love it. 5 cheeses, Kevin.
Oh, 5 cheeses.
5.
He won't taste any of them.
He won't taste a single one. It's not really fair.
You really could have stopped at 4. He wouldn't have known.
I went overboard.
Yeah, you did go overboard. Okay, all right, let's go ahead, unplug him. Let's get him tasting the first item here. Jbird, tell what this item is after his COVID blind taste test. Bird, what do you think you got there?
Can't taste any of it.
Oh, geez.
It is a little warm.
Okay.
It's chewy.
Yeah. Can't taste it. Oh, it's just
Is
tragic.
Is that lasagna?
Whoa.
No, not like I can tell it's not lasagna by Kevin's reaction.
It's not lasagna.
It's just so sad to watch.
I know,
is.
that's why I said whoa. I was just
Whoa.
like, wow, man.
I feel very ashamed. I feel very insecure right now.
I bet you do. You're so vulnerable at
I
this
do.
moment.
I feel naked. I'm in school. I'm walking
Yeah.
around.
Virginia, what was that?
That was actually 5 cheese mac and cheese, baked mac and cheese.
Oh, I love that.
I made it just
Oh,
for
yeah.
you.
Oh, can I have another bite?
Yeah.
Just for the warmth.
Just for the
Just for the punishment.
Yeah.
just somehow in there your body just knows it's right. Yeah.
It's warm.
Yeah. Oh man, oh man. Yeah, it's so
You can
thought-
taste the warm, but you can't taste the flavor.
I can feel that it's warm.
So, question. If you had something really spicy, would you even know?
I don't think so.
Well,
Would
maybe
it
we can find out here.
burn?
Oh.
So many questions.
I thought about that, as we're kind of writing down this concept. I think that you might because it's typically oils from that. Now, would the oils penetrate? Would that trigger taste buds? Or that is actually a good question. Maybe we'll have to put that to the test as well. I think we could accommodate that. Okay, here we go with item number 2. We got to plug Jbird's ears again so that he cannot hear what the second item is in his blind taste test. Okay, Virginia, what is the second item we're going to try here?
The second item is roasted oysters.
Yeah, he hates those.
Hates them.
Okay, all right, and the texture too. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see how he does here. All right, item number 2. Okay, Bird, here you go. Your second item. 0 for 1. Now let's see the second one. He's chewing it all up. What you thinking? Taste anything?
Is it cheese?
It is not cheese.
Cheese.
Is it like
okay.
it feels like a mozzarella kind of a cheese.
Okay.
It feels like a cheese that breaks away.
Okay, Virginia, what was that he tried for his second item?
Those were oysters.
Oh no! Oh my!
You took him down like it's no problem.
You can't and I hate oysters. Hate them. Hate
There was
oysters.
3 oysters you just ate.
They went down real easy. No aftertaste.
Like nothing, yeah.
This is dangerous because you don't know if you have bad breath or not. It's not a good thing. I got oyster breath now.
Yeah, that's right, because you can't smell your own breath.
I can't say how much I loathe and hate oysters. They're
Yeah.
one of the worst foods for me.
Yeah, you do.
I have no idea.
Took him down like a champ, though.
Yeah.
Look at you. Okay, Jbird testing out his COVID here. He lost his sense of taste and smell. So we got a blindfolded taste test here. The third item, Virginia, that we're going to put him to the test on. What do you got here for item number 3?
All right, so let's think about this now. If we want to introduce some spice and see if he can taste that.
Do it.
I've made a wasabi sardine.
Oh, that's gross. Oh, that's terrible. Dennys is wincing over there. Okay, let's do it.
Let's see if he can get the spice.
Okay, easy. He's got his headphones off.
Oh, okay.
I can't hear it. I'm trying. This hat's tough to have these headphones on.
Okay. All right, here we go.
All right.
All right, let's do this.
You ready?
Yeah.
Open up, sweet baby.
Oh boy.
What do you got there? What do you think?
It tastes weird. I mean, it feels weird. It feels. Ugh.
Feels like what? What do you? If you had to take a guess, what do you think you just put in your mouth?
It
and
feels
swallowed?
chewy.
Okay.
It feels aquatic.
Chewy and aquatic. Okay.
Is that sea urchin?
Was there any hint of any kind of flavor at all?
None. No flavor.
No spice.
What did you just eat, Virginia?
You had wasabi soaked sardines.
Oh. Wow. How gross is that?
Oh.
So you ate wasabi and didn't even flinch.
No, I hate wasabi. I can feel heat.
You can.
But I think I'm feeling the heat in my.
The question
in
is-
my
Yeah.
lungs. It's hitting my lungs. God.
Okay, so you still feel in your lungs. Are you still feeling in your rectum? Because that will come out later.
That's what I mean. I can't taste anything, but my stomach's gonna be doing fits later. Oh my!
The back end of your body's gonna be like, "What is the front end doing to me?"
All right, I think we get it. I can't taste.
I think Virginia's still
I
ready
just
to go.
know what's next.
Okay, Let's try. Do you want to try another item? You good?
Yeah, no, we can keep going. I'm here all day.
Yeah, you can't taste.
Kevin, I've got so many items.
Okay. Maybe we'll try them out a little bit later.
It's up to y'all. Whatever you want to do.
That was really kind of interesting to me that the spice, nothing at all. Yeah, I think we're going to get the same
He got
verdict.
it in his chest.
My trachea.
The wasabi, when it started traveling, is burning, but not in his mouth.
So the rest of your body will tell you if you've had something like that. But yeah, the spice, nothing at all.
I can also feel it attack my ulcer immediately.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we were generous with the wasabi.
Dang. Okay.
I have no
Fascinating
idea.
stuff. Fascinating stuff. All right. Who do you need to call out today and for what? There's many different ways you can do it. Some people send in emails. Some people hit us up with text messages. Some people use the mic drop feature on the 97.9 WRMF app. That's where we've got Jennifer's call them out here today.
I want to call out my 19-year-old stepson. He was going into sophomore year at UCF. And when he comes home, he just smokes pot and he leaves trash all over his room. When I buy food for me, he eats it. I have a 5- and 7-year-old of my own, and he never acknowledges them. Like my husband, he drives a truck, and he's always gone. He offers no help. So I want this freeloader to either leave or at least, act like a human. I don't know, where to vent. I don't know. What am I doing wrong?
Ooh, that's tough. You got a stepson that is kind of a pig, messing up the place, and your husband's gone all the time, so you got to try to be the person to deal with him.
Just be glad that he's getting to the age where he's not going to be your problem anymore. He's older.
Right. How many more, summers is he going to be coming home and laying out all over the couch and throwing garbage all over the place?
Did you say he goes to Florida?
UCF.
Yeah, I think they go back to school next week.
Okay, all
Thank
right.
goodness.
Yeah.
Well, because they also got that young hunger where they eat everything. When you're 18 to 23, you eat it all.
Yeah, and they go through a period, too, some of them, where they can't seem to find trash cans. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know what that is, but it's like they're blind to them. They have this weird blindness to trash cans.
They can make the trash.
Yeah, it's very odd. We just got this text at 877-979-WRMF saying, I want to call on my husband who is home with a hangover. When I asked him to stay home a week ago for a day to help me with my mental load of having all 3 kids home before school started, he couldn't, but today he can because he's sloshed. Okay. All right.
Damn.
Well, Sunday night got it going, huh?
Yeah, you got to be careful. If you're not willing to bend and help your girl, then when she has to bend and help you because you're hungover, she is not going to be forgiving.
Sunday drinking's tough because you're constantly playing watch with the clock.
Yeah.
You're constantly saying, all right, it's 3 p.m. now. If I have one more drink.
Yeah. I noticed, too, that I think for many, there's sometimes not a lot of sympathy for hangovers.
There's not.
In relationships.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know that you can really use that. It's not like saying, I got the flu, I'm laying out.
No.
No.
You brought it on yourself.
Yeah, right. This was an avoidable problem. We got another one. This is from our app. Somebody sent us this message, said, I'd like to call out my boss that didn't pay the correct hourly wage for a year, and when a coworker called him out, she lost her job. What a D.
You can't do that.
Christine sent that in.
Dang.
That should be retroactive.
It sounds like you definitely would have a legal case on your hands. Now, I guess that whole right to work thing, whatever it is that they got in Florida, they can basically fire you for any reason, whatever they want. But I don't know that that would have anything to do with wages that they owe you. You still have a legal right to get those.
Yeah, you may get fired, but they owe you that money.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And if you bring that to an attorney, I mean, that might be some kind of wrongful termination case too. Like if it was done out of spite because you called out the boss for shortchanging employees on money, like that's wage violation.
You definitely need to get a lawyer, and all the money that you just, you get back, you give right back to the lawyer.
And your former employer should be penalized somehow for that. You can't cheat people out of money and then when they call you on it, fire them.
Wow.
That's insane.
That is insane. I'd like to hear what that legal case might look like. I would assume wages you could pretty much get if you can prove that. Is there any other damages that you would get? Another text, call them out. Somebody wants to call out my ex-girlfriend. She's been hooking up with my neighbor who I can't stand. So now when I come home from work, I see her car in his driveway. And when I leave in the morning, her car is still there. By the way, he did tell me he had an STD 2 years ago at a neighborhood barbecue, so enjoy that.
Who offers up that information at a barbecue? Hey, I got chlamydia. Pass me the ribs.
Some barbecues are more loose than others.
My goodness.
If you're getting chlamydia ribs, yeah, that's a loose barbecue.
I'm just going to tell you right now, if we're at a barbecue together, I don't want to hear about your it burns when I pee.
No.
That's going to ruin the barbecue.
Words like gonorrhea shouldn't be dropped at a barbecue.
Well, there's fun times at a barbecue. I don't want to know about your gonorrhea.
No. Should be. This email from mail@kvjshow.com says, my ex-wife needs to be called out. She keeps finding out who I'm dating and then hits them up on social media spreading lies about me.
Uh-oh.
She's done it 3 times now. She says I'm verbally abusive and I have a small donger.
Well, they're going to find out soon.
She also tried telling one woman that I have been to prison, which is also not true. Never believe a Monica.
I was engaged to a Monica. That's who I was engaged to, Virginia, the Colombian woman.
I know, and you had her snatched away from you.
Yeah.
Dang.
Someone stole your Monica.
With lies and deceit.
Damn.
Okay. Rachel just sent in this column out on our app, said calling out my 2 19-year-old daughters and husband. I went to Houston for the weekend to see my sister for my birthday, and I came home to a house in disarray. Dishes, trash, laundry, undone. Okay. Yeah, that's a good awareness. That a lot of times is on the hubby. You know, it's just one thing that you got to do. If she's gone, she don't want to come home to more work and garbage.
But you got to spell it out for them sometimes.
You do,
know,
yeah.
If you just take for granted that they'll clean the house, knowing it'll make you happy, it's just not going to happen.
But I am saying this to guys, be like, you will get a lot of extra points. Here's your warning. I'm telling you in advance, because by the time your woman is telling you, it's a problem. So, be that proactive dude. Get some extra brownie points. It goes, better in life. So that morning on a Monday when you're actually laid out with a hangover and you shouldn't be, if you took care of the garbage when she was gone in Houston, then you might get a pass today. Just letting you know. That's how it works.
So glad I'm not married.
Give and take, baby. Give and take.
Are you over there still eating that mac and cheese?
I'm just looking at it. I'm not eating it because there's no
Just
point.
looking at it?
Yeah,
if
we
you've
do.
got no taste buds, you can't keep eating mac and cheese.
I learned that from my mom and Aunt Ann. They were always on a diet. There was always someone on a diet they were struggling to stay on, and when they would be on a diet, they'd want to look at your food. They wouldn't eat it, but let me just look at it. Let me just smell it.
I got Mark here. This is a mic drop. Call him out.
I want to call out my fiance who celebrated her bachelorette party over the weekend by opening a Venmo account and making over $1,000 from horny guys who wanted to buy their party drinks. They were in a party van and drove around Fort Lauderdale. They wrote on the van, "Sarah's getting married, buy her a drink." And they gave her Venmo, and she made bank. I thought it was genius, and she saved a ton of money.
Okay. That's, I guess, kind of a good idea.
Yeah.
If you're doing it, and you don't even have to really be on a bachelorette party to write that in your window.
No. You can lie.
I'm going to write that on my Jeep today.
Yes. You guys might do it. Easy way to make some cash. Well, coming up here, there are a couple stories. I imagine this might start happening. Stories about fake COVID vaccine cards.
Oh, you knew this was going to happen.
My goodness. These stories are starting to erupt. And is it really going to work? More and more businesses are requiring you have vaccines. A lot more establishments like AEG, who puts on a lot of concerts and other events, saying you're going to have your vaccine.
In Louisiana, they're about to go to all restaurants and bars and places.
They're doing it already in New York City and in Los Angeles. So how many other cities are going to follow suit? And, with more cities doing this, talking about TSA doing it, talking about the military doing it. So these COVID vaccine cards have got to be pretty legit, right? Right now, they're not. I'll let you know the latest on that coming up next. Almost anywhere you want to go, including some restaurants, movie theaters, concerts, even your job might be requiring the COVID vaccine. In fact, I just saw that Live Nation, who is the nation's largest live events company, has joined their competitor AEG, which last week said that they're going to require COVID-19 vaccinations for its patrons everywhere possible beginning on October 4th. So I guess if you want to go to any concert, you're going to have the vaccine. Now, the interesting thing is with Governor DeSantis kind of standing in the way, what effect will that have in Florida? But you see in New York City, Los Angeles, you were talking about in Louisiana, Virginia, I believe, that they were talking about to be able to go out, you're going to have that vaccine. Now, there are a lot of people that are standing against it, and it's going to be interesting to see. I saw there was a real estate company in Palm Beach County. It said either you get the vaccine or you get fired, and so the guy's going to have to fire like 20 plus people from his company who refused to get the vaccine. The Army announced last week that COVID vaccines are going to be required. Indiana University can now, according to the Supreme Court, require students to be vaccinated. So with all these kind of things where you have to be vaccinated, but you have people that are still very headstrong about getting the vaccine, what does that mean? Well, it looks like it's meaning bunk vaccination cards. You're starting to see these stories already popping up. They say that U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents seized thousands of falsified COVID-19 vaccine cards from China and Memphis. They had 121 busts of fake vaccination cards so far this year. 3,000 so far have been confiscated. I can see online where you can actually order these things anywhere from $100 to $250. You can get your own vaccine card. And the thing that's kind of crazy to me is it's nothing that's hard to duplicate.
No, I'm holding mine in my hand right now, and I tell you, I could go to Kinko's and I could duplicate this in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, they're making them like 1979 IDs. But remember how easy it was to make a fake ID back in the day?
If you could just make a regular standard card.
Card stock. It's a basic card stock.
Yeah.
It's black font. It's front and back. It's super easy.
Right.
There's nothing tricky here.
It's written in pen.
Yeah.
I mean,
all the important stuff is handwritten.
So how are they possibly going to regulate this stuff? I know some people are saying, well, then they'll start requiring for you to have it on an app and you'll have to do it that way. But there's a couple problems with that. One, could it still be falsified there? And two, what are you going to do? Because keep in mind, not all of the U.S. or even the world is tech savvy. Sorry. That's an after effect of COVID. Or is able to afford some of that equipment that you might be able to do. So what do you do for them? Because that's why you have the cards in the first place. So are they going to have to reissue cards that are going to be harder to cheat on? And if so, how long would that take? And, there'll still be people, as they step up, will try to falsify these cards. They say that fake PCR COVID-19 tests, which some places say, well, you got to have the vaccine or a negative test. You can get fake PCR tests now all over the place, too. So what are they going to do to try to police and patrol these kind of things? Because this is where the people who are not going to be vaccinated are going to go.
Well, the government say they're coming out with a new vaccine police. Have you guys seen that?
No,
I haven't. I'm completely kidding.
Oh, okay.
I'm just joking. Don't get mad.
Yeah, this is going to be something. How they're going to police it, I don't know. Now, there is a crime that goes along with this. The FBI categorized the unauthorized use of an official government agency seal like the CDC as a crime. And they are starting to bust some people who are using bunk vaccination cards. In fact, 2 travelers were arrested in Hawaii for falsifying their vaccination cards. And they were busted for violating Hawaii's Safe Travels program, and they're going to face a fine of up to $5,000 and are up to a year behind bars. And it seems like that's going to be the standard. If you are caught with a fake vaccination card, $5,000 fine and a year in jail. So they're going to try to, I guess, drop the hammer on anybody they catch. But my question is, on the other end of it, if you're working at a venue, how hard are you going to hassle somebody about their vaccination card?
And it's so easy and simple to duplicate this. Like, there is nothing on here. There's no safeguard. There's no seal. There's nothing imprinted. There's nothing like a little hologram sticker.
No,
nothing
there's
on it.
Nothing at all. It is the easiest thing to duplicate. I'm just like, did somebody not think this through? Because every single day and every single week, we're moving forward and forward into really needing your vaccination to be able to do a lot of things that people are going to want to do.
When I graduated high school, I duplicated the tickets they had because they limited us to a certain amount of tickets. So I found the card stock. I went to a Kinko's. I duplicated the tickets. It's not hard to do.
Kinko's isn't around anymore, is it?
Yeah, they are.
Kinko's is still around?
Yeah.
Huh.
Palm Beach Gardens, bruh.
I got to open my eyes more.
Okay. It is pretty interesting. Somebody said, yeah, when I first got my vaccine card, it was a photocopy on a regular piece of paper because they'd run out of the cardstock one. So how hard is that to duplicate?
Everybody's going to think you faked it.
Back in the day, were driver's license, were they made of paper? I'm talking, were 70s.
So back in the day, I think they were paper and then they were laminated.
Because they were
and you
so
could totally
easy.
fake
They
it.
were very easy to fake.
Yeah.
I mean, up to the point where even when I was in college, it was still easy to fake IDs.
But then they realized that they had a problem and they had to make it harder. So when are we going to realize that if we're going to make everything so required to have a vaccine in America that we got to make it harder to fake these things? Somebody said there's a national shot record website that shows every vaccine you've received. That's good if you have to take the time, like say maybe for a cruise, you would take the time to run everybody through that. But if you're walking into a venue with 20,000 people, are you going to type in 20,000 names?
No.
Or if you're going to a football game with 70,000 people, are you going to type in 70,000 names?
If you're going into a restaurant, is the server, is the hostess, I mean, they now are going to be required to check and make sure you have your vaccination card. Do you think that person is going to be an expert at spotting a fake? Because usually they're teenagers.
Exactly. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays. And like I had said, too, it is only where the local government will allow it. This is even the announcement that came from Live Nation. The new rule will only be in effect where permitted by law. So just know if you go to different cities or different states, then you might be affecting that in travel. But it seems like right now in South Florida, it may not be as big of an issue because of the governor's stance on it. But just something that I noticed when I started looking at the vaccine cards, I'm like, oh my gosh, how easy is this to duplicate? And already there's several stories about it happening today. I wouldn't even know how to start to deal with this. Hopefully we got somebody smarter than me out there that can give a little bit of help for a Gyno's major ethical dilemma. Send this email I just got this morning at mail@kvjshow.com. Says, I work at an obstetrics and gynecologist office. And for added COVID precautions, we're wearing masks as well as a shield. I'm basically in scrubs. I wear my glasses and I pull my hair back into a tight bun. So I'm basically unrecognizable with all my gear on. Well, this past weekend, my husband and I were planning a date night with my best friend and her new boyfriend. We live about an hour and a half away from each other, so I haven't had the chance to meet this amazing new guy she's been seeing for the last 5 months. You could imagine how hard it was to hold back my emotion when my best friend walked in with the husband of a patient I had seen just this past week. She is currently 37 weeks pregnant and dealing with some challenges that could deem her, quote, high risk. My friend's date clearly didn't recognize me, and so I went about the dinner as best I could. I asked probing questions about where he lived and what he did for a living and watched my friend stare at him as he charmed the table. He even took care of the entire tab. My husband was literally sad when I exploded in the car because he seemed like such a cool guy. What the hell do I do? I cannot tell my friend, is technically this could be considered a violation of HIPAA. So do I destroy this woman's world at the next doctor's visit, possibly days before she has their child? Do I confront the husband of my patient? I've gone back and forth with whether I should discuss with the administrator or the practice, but ethically, what is the right thing? This part of pregnancy and going into what is considered the 4th trimester is such a delicate time for a woman. Postpartum depression is a real thing, and something like this could have consequences beyond even what you can imagine. I hate this man for doing this. Any man that would choose his ego over the health and well-being of his child and the incredible human that's creating that child is truly a monster. How would you handle this?
Oh, well, if you got the information from being at work, it totally is a HIPAA violation to say anything. I don't think you can say anything.
I don't know what the bounds of it are. Nurse Schmidt in the chat room is saying it's not HIPAA. HIPAA is a patient's private medical info. A guy you have seen in the office is not part of HIPAA.
Oh.
You say in front of him, haven't I seen you at Dr. X's office? And she said that you can do that, and maybe it would be something where I would think, based on this, wouldn't you want to confront him alone without his wife? Would you rather see him on the grounds of you're with your friend or something like that, so he's nowhere near his pregnant wife when you do it? So I think the question would be, is it better to have a confrontation at the office or maybe in a social setting with your friend? But then that would require trying to get together with your friend who lives an hour and a half away pretty fast.
Oh, man, this is a mess.
It really is. I was like, I don't even know what to tell you on something like this. This is really tough. You know, a lot of times we're always like, don't get involved. But do you feel the urge like you need to get involved with something like this, Virginia?
I don't know how I would handle this. I mean, it really does depend on how close I am.
You are really only close with your best friend who's dating this scumbag who has a wife that is about to give birth.
I don't know. I think I would have to say something. As long as I couldn't get in trouble at work, though, I would really check that out and make sure that it's not going to fall back on my place of employment and he doesn't try to get me fired.
Because it doesn't sound like he would be covered if Nurse Schmidt is correct. And this, you definitely want to check to make sure that's right. But according to Nurse Schmidt, the husband doesn't have HIPAA, correct? He doesn't have any right to any kind of privacy. You're not violating necessarily anything private about his wife or her medical records. You're just blowing the spot on the fact that this dude came in and you can tell your best friend, hey, this guy came in with his pregnant wife into my office.
Seems like there's always some drama going down at the Gynosaurus's office. Always some kind of something going down.
Well, most times when you're there, it's not a good reason. Unless it's a normal checkup.
So most of the time when you're going to the Gynosaurus, it's because something's wrong?
Well, if it's outside of your normal checkups, yes.
How many of those do you do a year?
Normal checkups?
No, your normal checkups.
Twice a year or more if you've had an irregular pap.
So your pap is basically like cleaning your teeth, really. Twice a year. Yeah. Let's get it checked out. Let's make sure everything's all right.
Yeah. You got to go for the mammogram and all that, too.
That's part of the Gynosaurus experience?
Different but same. Still required annually.
Learning a lot in a Monday.
Virginia, do you tell your best friend if she's getting cheated on?
I think I would have to, right?
If she's dating a guy?
I would try to navigate this and not get fired from my job. Mm-hmm. But I think you have to.
Another comment about the HIPAA, and does it cover a husband who is going to the gynecologist with his wife? Michelle, what do you think? What is HIPAA, and does it protect the husband at all in this?
No, it doesn't, because the HIPAA protects the patient's privacy, not the husband's privacy. You know, I get all the time talking to patients or the patient's husband or anybody answering the phone. Oh, well, I paid the bill, or I did. Well, it doesn't make you, I can't give you information, though, because it's the patient who we're protecting, not the husband. So my suggestion in this situation would be, not before the birth, because obviously, like she said, it's a very sensitive time for women, and it's an important time. So maybe during childbirth or after childbirth, reveal who you are, because he's going to recognize it. And he's going to think to himself, oh, crap, Mm-hmm. Then at that point, she should tell her friends, but I would wait until after the baby is born because, again, you don't want to put the mother under any stress.
Right.
But by revealing herself alone will definitely let him know that you got caught.
Yeah, he's on spot right there.
I mean, this guy is dangerous.
Crap.
He's just cavalier.
He's a cowboy, Virginia.
Yeah. Somebody texted in and said, I've been in this situation and I almost got fired over it.
Wow.
He never found out that it was me because he never saw my face at the job. However, he did come up to my job and cause a scene saying that somebody was spreading lies about him. It went on for months. Thank God I never got caught. 2 years later, I told the doctor that I worked for because he was my friend, and he was like, ethically, you did the right thing, but you definitely would have been fired for it, and thank you for never telling me.
I'm just letting y'all know. I'm telling y'all, if I find out anyone's cheating on you, whether I'm a doctor or not, HIPAA, SMIPA, Blood in, blood out. We're family.
The thing is, like, if you love your job, though, and you haven't spoken to your employer, your doctor, whoever about it,
right?
You can't just go rogue and cross your fingers because, if the husband comes and causes trouble at your work, he could get you fired.
Well, and the thing I was wondering, too, and somebody texted this in from the 305, you got to be careful because HIPAA does include a stipulation about identifiable info about the patient. And in a sense, if you reveal somebody's husband, that kind of leads a trail back to them, which in a sense does expose them as well.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah. People thinking that she needs to tell her friend, this is your best friend, and
definitely
you
tell
would
your
tell your
friend.
best friend.
Of course you do. You do it to where, HIPAA doesn't, get you.
Hopefully, if you lose this job, you could get a different one at a different gynecologist. And that might be something to look into as well, just so you're not blindsided if you get in trouble.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if they could make the gyno appointments a little bit more fun. It just seems like it's very stressful, a lot of drama. I don't know.
It's embarrassing, too, because no one wants to be, like, in that position.
Well, IKEA has the Swedish meatballs. They should have just something kind of, you know what I mean? Something fun in the office, just to make it a little...
Serve meatballs while you're getting your pap?
Something better.
It seems like maybe she might want to talk to her doctor first that she works with and let him know what the situation is.
Right.
And maybe he could give you some guidance.
And say, look, here's the position I'm in. I don't want to mess up my job. I certainly don't want my friend to be messed over in this relationship, but I got to navigate this, and I wanted your advice, your help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems like a good thing, but it sounds like the doctor needs to know, and it sounds like your friend needs to know, but maybe not before she gives birth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that is a tough situation. And some people said, too, that if your listener needs any help, I can help walk them through it. So thanks for that. I'll pass on that information to our person. Obviously, they couldn't come on the radio to talk about it for obvious reasons.
We all make a pact right now, though. We always tell each other if we find out someone else is cheating.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you and Panda were boys before you and I were boys.
You're right. But
who will you be loyal to?
You're both my boys, though.
I know.
I'm loyal to the one that's not stepping out. So if you're going to step out on Panda, I'm sticking with Panda.
Okay. This is pretty ridiculous. The drunk promise that Jbird and Dennys made somebody while they're blackout drunk at Crazy Horse about a month or so ago.
Uh-oh. Do we know what time this promise was made? Because the timeline of Crazy Horse is really important.
It had to be after 4:30 p because we and him don't at all have any recollection of
zero.
From 3 to 3:45, I can tell you what happened. After 3:45, I have zero recollection.
Well, this is bizarre because I guess Dennys is pretty gung ho about doing it, and I was too because it doesn't take much to get me gung ho when I'm drinking.
Yeah.
We promised some dude we're going to play on his travel softball team, and we don't have time to play on no travel softball team. We want to know why or when we're going to be going to practice.
I was like, what?
So yeah, Dennys was into it. You said he's a good second baseman. Like, no, Dennys is not a good second baseman.
Dennys, you ever play baseball or softball?
No. I made a couple promises that day. I've been slowly checking off the list. But.
We're still paying for that event.
Yes.
I mean, this guy really wants us on the team. I had to tell him, I'm like, dude, unfortunately, we just don't have time to be on a softball team.
Yeah.
It's a way to describe that you got too drunk. You got Crazy Horse drunk.
It is. And I had to tell him that. I go, dude, I am so sorry. I made so many promises that night, day, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's not going to happen.
I agreed to everything everyone asked.
I did too. I agreed to everything. I'm in a reggae band.
Well, we were very agreeable. It was our first event back in a bar since this whole pandemic began. We were all excited. We didn't realize that our tolerance for fireball shots was not where it used to be.
Yeah, we also hired somebody. Someone in the chat room reminded us we hired someone for a KVJ intern at that event, but we don't have interns anymore. The company doesn't allow them, but we hired one. That's amazing.
We were just happy.
We were very happy.
We were so agreeable.
We're real happy.
They did apply for a job, though. Let it be known.
Okay, good.
We steered them in the direction.
All right. Okay, that's good.
I'm sure they'd be a great employee.
Yeah.
I have no idea who this person is.
I don't either. Well, it's interesting the things we do when we're on alcohol. A lot of dumb things. You do a lot of dumb things when you're a little kid as well. You just got to try to figure out from this story, which was this person. Blair did something dumb. Was she a little kid or a drunk adult when she did it?
I took a huge bite out of a cactus plant.
Ooh. That is probably going to hurt.
Huge bite.
Bold. Huge bite. Was that a little kid or a drunk adult that did that? What do you think, Virginia?
Gosh, that could go either way. I'm going to say drunk adult.
I'm going drunk adult because I think you try to eat things when you're drinking. You see me do it, eating the gravel.
Well, you try to show off.
You do. You try to show off.
Okay, so you're going drunk adults, both of you?
Yeah.
Then I'll go little kid.
I was a little kid. I was curious to see what it felt like, and it was awful. Had to go to the hospital. I can't even look at cactus plants still to this day. It's worse than getting your wisdom teeth taken out.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would imagine eating a cactus is pretty rough.
That is terrible. Wow.
Dude, if you swallowed it, you got double pain going on.
Oh my
there.
gosh, you would have to get some kind of throat surgery.
Dang. Okay, what about Vince here? Was he a little kid or a drunk adult when he did this?
One time, I actually called my dad in because he matched the description of being a terrorist that they were looking for.
That's going to be awkward.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You turned your dad in? This has to be a little kid.
It's got to be a little kid.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like it'd be a little kid, too. What were you, Vince?
I was actually drunk.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Well, I wonder who you turned yourself into. See, that's the only problem with the mic drop. I got some follow-up questions here for you, Vince.
That's all he's giving us?
I was drunk. Who did you call? What did they say?
And who do you call when you think someone in your family's a terrorist? Is there a terrorist hotline? Or did you just call the local police department?
Yeah, maybe you just called 911. That probably
Crime
would be it.
Stoppers?
Yeah. If you're drunk, you probably just called 911, said, I think my dad's a terrorist. And you're like, oh, okay. Here we go.
I do want to know more about that.
I do, too. How about Danny here? Was he a little kid or a drunk adult when he did this?
I got in trouble for peeing in a suitcase while flying on a plane.
Oh, you're definitely drunk.
Definitely drunk.
Yeah, peed in a suitcase while flying on a plane?
And we get it.
Suitcase. You know what? I'm going to go little kid just because a suitcase for an adult is something you probably have to check. But I've seen little kids, because they're so small, they have the little suitcase that sometimes they'll put on their lap. So I can see the kid, maybe mom falls asleep and the little kid pees in the suitcase. I'm going to go little kid for that reason.
I was a little kid. I thought it would be funny. It wasn't. Somehow, I managed to not get kicked off the plane, but everybody yelled at me, including the pilot. And I thought, well, shouldn't the pilot be flying the plane? I think I was more upset at that than anything else.
Pilot came back to yell at a little kid?
This had to have happened in the 80s. You can't be running.
Well, a little kid doesn't know any better.
But even now, you can't be peeing in no suitcase. Post 9/11, peeing in suitcases.
But little kids, you gotta forgive them. They're gonna mess up.
Little kids. I mean, how much is a little kid gonna pee?
Exactly.
I don't know, man. I peed a lot as a kid.
You did. Okay. He's a big peer. All right. Got another one here from David. Little kid or drunk adult?
I got detained by the police because I was jump roping naked on the side of the road.
Yeah, you're drunk.
Totally drunk, right?
You have to. You're drunk and you're also, there's something else in your system.
You're drunk and you're awesome.
Yeah, I would think so, because, I mean, what parent is going to be so distracted they're not going to notice their kid is outside jumping rope naked on a sidewalk? I'd think, right?
You got to be, you're a drunk adult and you're from Port St. Lucie, and I think there's also something else in your system.
Okay. Feels like drunk adult here.
Believe it or not, I was a drunk adult. I was drinking like I did back in my college days, blacked out. Then, I don't know how it happened. I started jump roping in the street, stark naked. Didn't get arrested, though. The cop who saw me there, he knew me, he knew my dad, and he drove me home.
Wow. Okay.
I mean,
that's a piece of luck because that could get you arrested.
Well, if you don't know the cop, I think you're getting your ass tased.
Maybe, yeah.
Naked.
Oh, that's a disturbing sight. All right, well, interesting stories. Thank you for sending them our way. You can do that on the 97.9 WRMF app. Just use the mic drop feature in the upper right-hand corner in the hamburger menu. It'll send it right to us. Make sure you leave a little bit of a space there so that we can try to lay our guess as to whether you're a little kid or a drunk adult. Download it for free in your app store today.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
So people see this guy in South Carolina. He's riding a horse down the street, and then all of a sudden he disappears into his house. Well, where the heck did the horse go?
In the house?
Yeah, it actually went in the house. Yeah, but here's the problem. First of all, this is grand theft horse because the horse wasn't his.
Oh.
And they're expensive.
Yeah, they are. He had stolen the horse that he was riding down the street, and then he just took the horse into his house and tried to hide it in his bedroom. A woman actually saw him leading the horse into the house and be like, what is that guy doing? And then when they found out that there was a stolen horse on the loose, they're like, I think I saw it going into this house. They're like, what?
When he put the horse in the bedroom, did he really try to cover it up, put a sheet over it so it didn't look
that's not a horse under that sheet.
That's my wife.
Yeah. He's facing charges of burglary, larceny, and malicious injury to animals. The horse will be okay, though.
See, that's what I really wish animals could talk. Because I would love to talk to the horse and just see what it was thinking the whole time.
I mean, he probably didn't hate it. Come into the house, probably got AC,
air conditioned,
got to lay in a bed.
That's why I would really
the horse was probably like, bed? This is amazing.
I always want to be in one of these things.
I've heard about these mattresses, but wow, they really do feel nice.
Yeah, this is pretty amazing. Thank you. The hospitality on this guy. Police in Washington arrested a woman they say broke into a restaurant while naked. She then destroyed it and then ran to a nearby hotel and destroyed more things. You're probably not going to be surprised to find out that she was on a lot of drugs.
Not surprised.
It is alarming when you see someone getting all violent and they're naked.
Yeah, it's a bad combination. There's a female employee working at a Chipotle in Baltimore that apparently got upset with a customer who was like, hey, my order's taking forever. Give me my order. So finally, the worker at the Chipotle grabbed a pair of scissors and chucked them at the guy.
Oh. We have audio if you want to taste.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, this is apparently where it goes a little bit south here.
Is she the manager? Bruh, is she the manager?
Yeah, I you can call. I am the manager. You can call whoever you want to.
Whoa.
Throwing scissors?
Oh, my goodness.
There's so many fights in these restaurants, man.
Ooh, what the heck is going on there? Look out, that Chipotle is going crazy. There's a woman in Wisconsin that got arrested after accidentally shooting her friend last Tuesday. She was using the gun's laser sight to play with a cat. You know how it's funny to watch him bouncing around trying to chase that light? Well, apparently it wasn't funny when she accidentally shot her friend.
That's terrible.
If y'all accidentally shot me and I didn't die, obviously, I could forgive you. We could do a show the next day.
Think so?
Yeah.
If it was an accident?
If it was an accident. I mean, you shot me in the nard on purpose and we're still friends.
True.
And my nard has never been the same.
Back in high school, I had one of my friends shoot another one of my friends. And, you know, it took them a little while, but they patched it over.
On purpose, or was it?
No, he was just showing him how to clean a shotgun. And
you shot him?
Yeah.
Where did he shoot him?
Pretty much mainly in the arm for the most part, but some of it hit him in the chest.
That's heavy.
That is heavy. It's just different people.
That's Logan.
It's Logan.
Yeah, we shoot each other occasionally. It just happens. There's a 29-year-old man in Tennessee that was charged with trespassing after he rode on a school bus and walked into a high school with students. Ooh. The man walked right into the high school with some other students, and a teacher's like, wait, you don't look like you belong here.
You look like you're 35 years old.
Yeah, dude's 29. I know that works in the movies, but not apparently in a real Tennessee high school. The cops are called, and he admitted to riding on the school bus, trying to go into the school. And probably the ironic thing, he probably never tried to go to school when he was allowed to, but now that he's not, he is, which is like, dude. A 38-year-old woman in Charlotte County, Florida, got arrested after she was caught showing her breast to an inmate while pleasuring herself at a jail visitation center.
Well, all right.
You can't do that?
Apparently not. Yeah, just to let you know.
Sounds like a fun visitation.
That's a great visit for the prisoner.
Yeah, she's now facing charges of exposure of sexual organs within a public place in violation of probation. So apparently she was on probation herself.
You hear stories like that, and then you also hear of other stories where people legit have sex while they're in prison.
Yeah.
And they get pregnant?
Yeah, I guess it depends upon, what the facility is like and visitation rules.
Whose beak you're wetting to,
That's not a beak. If somebody got pregnant, it was not a beak.
Mm-hmm. There's a 30-year-old Michigan man that had to go to the hospital after intentionally putting 6 kidney beans into his manhood hole for sexual gratification.
Oh,
what?
That's tough. Yeah, kidney beans.
Beans?
That's one of the bigger beans, Virginia.
Apparently he's trying to meet the beans with his actual kidney.
I mean, a pinto I could see.
Yeah, well, no bean is really going to be good. Thankfully, the doctors are able to remove them with only minimal trauma. But I would be, can you define minimal when it comes to this?
And they definitely talk. They're having conversations about the bean peen.
Oh, I mean, you talk about that guy for a good 2 months.
His penis.
Wow. And I don't know if you've got a Monopoly strategy, Jbird. I know you love the game.
Love it.
Do you have a personal strategy on how to win?
I do. I always get the slums and put it all there.
All in the slums?
Yeah, Baltic Avenue is my jam.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah. I get so many hotels on that thing.
You do? Okay.
I do. I really go with the low property area.
Well, there's this one guy claims he is a Monopoly expert, and he says that his strategy involves buying the orange and red properties, buying railroads only to trade them, and putting 4 houses on your properties, but not hotels, so you can make houses scarce.
Okay. He's right, too. Anyone that owns all of the railroads, they always have a bit of an attitude. If you own all 4 during the game, it shifts a bit.
Yeah.
You're kind of
Okay. That's an interesting own strategy.
I wish you guys liked Monopoly.
I don't. It's so boring.
It is so long and drawn out.
It really doesn't seem to work into today's era, right? Where everything's got to be fast and now.
It's all about the psychological warfare. That is fun.
I lose interest a good 8 minutes in. I'm like, I'm over this. Let's do something else. On the Whacked Out News, had a story about a guy in South Carolina tried to bring a horse into a house, and oddly enough, somebody thought that looked weird.
It's definitely going to get your attention if you see that.
Yeah. It sounds like the setup to a joke.
Yeah, it does. So this guy tries to bring a horse into a house. Well, what is the weirdest thing that you've seen at a person's house that they thought was normal? I do remember as a kid, one of my buddy's aunts, she had a Christmas room. And I'd never seen this before at that time, but she had 4 Christmas trees that were screwed into the ceiling. And I just thought that was the craziest thing. And she
What's
was
odd
like,
about that?
Yeah. I was like, you got Christmas trees all over your... Yeah. She's like, yeah. Well, yeah, it's my Christmas room. Duh. I'm like, okay. I'd never seen a Christmas room until that point.
It's a tough topic for me to kind of get into because you're talking to somebody who has nothing but weird stuff.
You were the weird house.
We were. I didn't realize how many people did not drink soda. I mean, we had a house where my mom and my aunt Ann, they would buy 3 liters of soda, and then you go to other people's house, and not everyone drank soda. So we were the weird house.
Okay.
Especially because of how much soda we had.
Yeah.
A lot.
Okay, I can only imagine the Penningtons probably would make this list many times.
We really would. I'm just thinking about our furniture, like all of it.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
Here's some of the examples that people gave us on our Facebook page of things that you saw in a friend's house that they thought was normal, which really wasn't. Somebody said roaches crawling around in daylight, right out in the open. I would not sit or eat anything. The 3 times I went over, his entire family just seemed to think it was normal. Like, yeah, I mean, it's South Florida. People have roaches, right?
Now, there's a difference. People, yes, everyone gets a roach or 2, but that's different than a roach problem.
These roaches seem like they were pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
They're out in the day, just walking around.
Stretching.
Hey, what's up, Bob?
Yeah.
Too comfortable. Somebody else said, I saw my friend spit in her house right into the carpet.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so
What
wrong.
the hell?
Like, it was no big deal. Just, spit right into the carpet. It's all
Oh my
good.
gosh, you're an animal.
You are an animal, and you got to do that alone, or no one can see you. If you're going to be that gross.
Yeah. Somebody said, I had a family one time that they would have the dogs and cats that would go into this one room to use the bathroom, even though they had a fenced-in backyard. Like, how much harder is it to let an animal outside than to actually have them go into a designated room to go use the bathroom?
That's what was bizarre about the house we bought in Gardens. I told you this story before. We were in there for a week and kept on smelling something bad, and we ended up tearing up the carpet. And throughout the entire house, there was dried, hard dog poop all over the floor.
That's so gnarly.
They carpeted it over that. They never cleaned it off.
They just put carpet on top of poo?
It was the most bizarre, weird thing, but
That's
it was
gross.
a lot of it throughout the house. Weird.
That's
right?
unbelievable.
We had to do a whole new floor.
Maybe they just did that because they were trying to sell the house.
We
were just gross.
We thought it was a very bizarre thing.
It is bizarre.
And they never told us, and we kept smelling stuff.
Ugh.
What is the weirdest thing you've seen happen at a friend's house that they thought was normal? Somebody said, a toddler drinking a wine cooler.
That's a problem.
I mean, the whole family was messed up, but I mean, that really even trumped the dysfunction that was normally going on.
You got to leave that party ASAP.
You got to call Child Protective Services.
That would be so uncomfortable.
I even made an offhanded comment about how little kids probably shouldn't drink alcohol, and the mom got oddly defensive about it.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Right. Okay.
I'm in the wrong house.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of here.
Yeah. Strange things you've seen in somebody's house that they were like, yeah, what's the big deal? I don't get it. We had some interesting comments like the toddler drinking the wine cooler. The whole family's just like,
what?
Yeah. Well, you know what's amazing about it? You're seeing something so bizarre and you're looking around and there's several people in the room and like, no one else is going to acknowledge that a toddler's drinking a wine cooler right there.
And then when you say something, like the mom gets defensive about it, what?
Yeah, what's the big deal? Kid's thirsty.
Well, she doesn't want to have to defend herself when she's getting her buzz on. So you know she's drinking too.
Oh,
the
yeah,
kid's
no doubt.
drinking.
Wow. A couple interesting comments. A few in the chat room. One person in the chat room said, yeah, I saw a house that had a large painting of a domestic cat with a beauty pageant crown and sash on.
See, that person, they're different. I like that person.
Okay. Same person said, I went to look at a house for sale. I walked in. It had a merry-go-round horse installed in the floor and ceiling when you'd walk in the front door.
Now, that's just good living.
Okay, that's interesting. Somebody said, I had a friend whose mom had a couch on all four walls of their living room with an outside water fountain right in the center of the living room. And when I said something, they didn't acknowledge when I commented on it.
I love that look. I think that would be fun.
An indoor fountain?
Yeah, those indoor fountains are expensive, but they really make a room pop.
It's an interesting look. And somebody else said the weirdest thing that I've seen happen at a friend's house that they thought was normal, the old poo knife. People that had that with bad plumbing, and you got slow pipes, so anything too big's got to be cut up into smaller pieces so the plumbing can handle it, which is about the grossest thing I've ever heard anyone ever do.
You got to make some kind of an adjustment. Getting a new toilet is the only thing that's important in your life at that point.
You got to something has to change.
Something's got to give.
I mean, come on. We're in the 2020s now.
That's number one
Just
priority.
the idea of the poo knife, and then the knife stays in the bathroom.
You even have to, I think, skip meals to save money to get that problem taken.
Everything.
You got to throw it all in.
Whatever you have to do in your life.
Yeah, if you skip meals, you won't need as many poo knives.
So are we really, like a lot of these celebrities, not bathing our kids that often? What are the national numbers? Now, this kind of got a little bit of coverage because you had some celebrities that were going on, like Kristen Bell, talking about, if our kids don't stink, we really don't bathe them. And according to some interesting surveys about how much parents are bathing their kids and even themselves, 63% of American parents don't wash their kids until they stink. That's a majority of American parents.
Yeah, but I mean,
Look, during the summer and during the school year, it should be two separate sets of rules. Because during the summer, Rocco just hung out at the house. He didn't really do a lot of stuff, and he was just playing around. He wasn't going anywhere. He didn't have to look presentable or smell presentable. And so it was loose. But now that the kids are going back to school, you don't want your kid to be the stinky kid at school.
There's a difference between smelling real bad and smelling like, I don't know, ketchup. Is that considered to be smelly? But you know what I mean? There's different layers of smelling bad. When does it get so bad where you finally make the kid bathe?
I guess if they don't have a level of stink, 63% of Americans say, they don't need a bath. If I can't physically see dirt and if I don't smell any funk, keep going, kid. You're all right. 69% of parents with kids under the age of 10 say they bathe their kids more than they do themselves. So if you think the parents are gnarly with their practices with their kids, they're gnarly themselves because they're not bathing any more than they are the kids.
How much is Cannon bathe?
It's a real struggle. It is a real struggle. I know my wife, it is one of the top fights in our house. She's always trying to get him to hop in and get a bath. I don't know what the average is. I think my wife goes around with him at least every day about it, but how often he does bathe, especially during the summer, it gets more lax.
Yeah.
She's
and
definitely,
that's understandable.
Yeah, but, this seems like this isn't just a summertime stat. This is a stat that goes on year round.
What are you? Are you a 2-shower man a day?
No, I'm not. No, in fact, I'm like a lot of Americans, 31% of which say it's not necessary to shower daily. And I'm in that category. And, I saw somebody talking about this the other day that I think it was a dermatologist. And they're saying you really have to know your skin, and no answer is right for everybody. I mean, look at me. I always have dry skin. I have the craziest dry skin. And I even use skin cream, the stuff that is meant for eczema. And look at me. I have dry skin all over my black shirt all the time. I can't. If I showered all the time like that, especially twice a day, oh my gosh. It would be painful and awful. And you'd be like, wow, that guy's scaly.
You could barely notice your dry skin.
I know, right? It's terrible. And this is a guy that is holding off showering until like I need to. I kind of believe in the stank. If you can't see dirt on me and you can't smell me,
I can't smell anything. So yeah, don't shower.
Yeah, with everybody getting COVID these days, I may never shower again. Yeah, they say that it's kind of interesting when people are honest about it that they may not be showering as much as you think. Just over half of people say they bathe once a day. So almost half of Americans are not bathing every day.
You're a 2-shower a day person, aren't you?
No, I'm 1. I wake up and I shower. That's how I start my day. If I didn't shower in the morning before I came to work, I feel like I'd be groggy.
Okay.
I feel like it wakes me up.
So it's not necessarily for cleanliness in a sense. It's for just getting going, and it's probably more habit than anything for you.
But if I came in here and I wasn't clean, I didn't have because I wear makeup. That's a different thing. If you're a girl that wears makeup, I can't imagine putting makeup on top of the day before's makeup. You have to start each makeup application clean and fresh. You can't put makeup on top of makeup. That's gross.
I think I'm showering too much. I shower a lot. I sometimes just go in there and let the water hit me just to think. Mm-hmm. I like to sit.
Well, some people
I'm
do.
not surprised you do. I bet you do other stuff in there too.
Yeah.
Tugboat.
Tugboat Pennington. I like the ring of that. I don't hate it.
Some people aren't, some people can. The Rock, for instance, he spoke out against all these celebrities like the, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, who were talking about, they were pretty much the same way. And he said, look, I shower 3 times a day. But keep in mind, this is a guy that works out a crazy amount. If you're not working out and you work indoors and say maybe you've been working from home and you're not breaking any kind of a sweat or doing anything like that, then yeah, you can see where it might get away from some people. Be like, why do I need to?
Am I the only one that loves baths on the show? I love a bath. Oh,
a bath is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Pour yourself a little wine.
Tugboat away.
Yeah. They say 6% of people say they bathe once every 3 days. That's 6%.
After 3 days, doesn't the pits get a little gnarly?
Well, that's it, and that was the one thing that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis were saying is they check, the pits and the different places like that, and they'll wash those, but the rest of the body they don't feel necessarily needs bathing and that you're stripping it of the natural oils that it needs.
As long as you're cleaning the entrances, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or the exits.
Or the exits. Yeah.
Depends on what you use it for.
Hopefully yours is more of an exit back there.
It is.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, so some people do that.
I think too, like, I'm very looky and I'm very judgy. I can tell who hasn't showered in a while. Just by looking at people, I can tell.
Yeah, there is a gaminess to somebody that
There's
you might be able to
there's
see.
a sheen.
A sheen, yeah.
Especially with hair that hasn't been washed in several days. Like, you can absolutely tell.
Well, because with the long hair, I can't wash my hair every day, so I'll go take a shower and I'll clean everything. But then this and it makes your hair all puffy too, girl. The hair problems I could talk to you.
Yeah, I think you just got to really know what your body is. And they say, you could get in the shower, but some people need to know that you shouldn't use soaps and things like that every single day, because depending upon what your pH balance is, may not be the right thing for you. If you're a really oily person, some people are like, my wife is just oily and greasy. And I am not. I am the driest person out there. I'm always having to cover myself in lotion.
Have you ever used shower oil?
No.
I got some the other day. Our friend Moisette, who works at L'Occitane.
Moisette?
Moisette, Moisette and
Yeah.
Frank. She gave me these samples of this body oil cleansing soap. You use it in the shower.
Oh, smart. Yeah.
And I'm going to give you some of that. I think you would like it.
Yeah, I think they're starting to recognize this. There's more chatter about it because, there are people that have just really ridiculously dry skin.
You have the same thing my mom had. The LPD, the lizard people, the LPS, I should say, lizard people's skin.
I'm going to say, your
Not
mom had a D?
No, LPS, lizard people's skin. She would have that. She would get weird, kind of like what you talk about.
Yeah.
The eczema.
Yeah.
Patches.
Yeah.
Patches.
Very dry skin. Yeah. And I thought this was interesting too. And it depends upon, where you are with your stank level. There is an actress, Yvette Nicole Brown. She's from Community, but she worked with Matthew McConaughey on the movie Tropic Thunder more than a decade ago. And she said that Matthew McConaughey never wears deodorant or cologne, but he doesn't smell. She said she got a good whiff of him, too. She said he doesn't have an odor. He smells like granola and good living. He has a sweet, sweet scent, and that's just him, and it's not musty or crazy.
He's just perfect.
Yeah, he really is.
And he seems like someone that would not shower much.
Yeah, I think he just kind of goes with the flow. If he feels he needs it, he does. Otherwise, he's good.
And it looks great on him. Like, you never look at him and think, ew. Like, him not showering for 3 days, he still looks
it's
amazing.
a turn on, actually.
It's a turn on.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's not fair.
Well, the weird thing about it is I don't think I necessarily smell that much either. I don't think I pungently have a lot of body odor. But the one thing I've noticed, I gone from regular deodorant and my wife switched it out and I got this natural stuff.
Oh, it's just terrible.
And now I notice how gamey I am. And is it possible that natural deodorant can actually make you smell worse?
It does. I know a lot of people who made the switch to natural deodorant, and they are stank now.
We're talking about going on 4 hours, and I'm gamey. I have BO right now, 4 hours after applying this natural deodorant. And I think, in fact, I'm going to throw it away today. I have a feeling tomorrow I'll try it. I'm not going to wear any deodorant. I have a feeling I will not smell tomorrow.
You'll smell better than if you use the natural.
Right. It's like, why would you put on deodorant if it makes you have more BO? Well, let's talk a little hygiene here today, how much Americans are bathing themselves, their kids, and how Matthew McConaughey doesn't wear deodorant but still doesn't smell. Pretty amazing, huh? So just kind of curious about this natural deodorant, which I at least try to put on. Maybe I should be like Matthew McConaughey, but I just don't think I smell as awesome as he does. He's just genetically got everything going right.
He really does.
Yeah, you might as well be using a turd, seriously. Other than that natural stuff, I've never smelled it smelling good on anybody.
Now, the interesting thing, because I was just noticing that it seems like whenever I put it on, I have BO. I'm only 4 hours into this deodorant, and already I am kicking. I've got funky smell.
Both of you have had this before. I don't know if you do that anymore. Do you do the natural still?
Sometimes.
How are I can't smell your pits today, but are they still Rough?
Well, I got that procedure called Miradry, where they inject this stuff into your armpits, and it stops the sweating in that one little area, which I'm a big fan. I love the Miradry. Now, it's not 100%, but I would say it's about 75% effective against pit sweat.
Okay.
And it's made a big, big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Pit sweat, just because you have pit sweat doesn't mean you have smell.
No, it's true.
You know, you could. It's
twofold, yeah.
Your issue was smell.
It's the bacteria.
I eat a lot of funky food. I eat onions. I eat garlic. I eat seafood. I eat all that crazy spicy stuff.
You have seafood armpits? Ugh. Gosh, you're making me so not.
That is pretty gnarly. Yeah, that is. Somebody texted and said, with natural deodorant, you smell worse until your body gets rid of all the toxins from the normal deodorant. Then it starts to not be smelling.
No, you natural deodorant people are living a lie. You think it smells good. I get it. That regular deodorant gives you cancer. You all smell like onions.
They say it also depends on the kind of natural deodorants you buy and then what you eat on top of it.
Yeah.
I don't know I'm eating anything that funky, not like what Virginia's got going on over there.
Crustacean armpit over here.
Shrimp pit.
Okay. And Victor in the chat room said, Kev, don't believe the hype on Matthew McConaughey. There has been several co-stars who say that he smells homeless on the set. So.
Aww.
Okay. Maybe that's why it was a question. So maybe he doesn't just smell as awesome as what that one person said. Who knows?
WRMF.
So Jbird was faking his identity using a fake voice and everything.
Why? What are you doing? What are you up to over there?
That's a great question. Yeah, who's he need to throw off the scent? And what's amazing is, was he successful? And I think he was. Who is this person you're trying to fool and why?
I gotta be careful on who I don't want to make the person feel bad. So I go to this store a lot, and I sometimes don't go to this place because this one person that works there is very annoying, and they don't shut up, and they just have no boundaries, and it goes on and on and on. So it makes me not want to go there, and it really sucks. I really love this place. And I had to go to this place over the weekend, and this person was working there. But because they hadn't seen me in so long, I had my mask on, and I had long hair.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, oh man, they're going to know my voice. Because I think sometimes they have even the show on at where they work at. So this person starts talking to me, and I instantly go into a country accent. I start talking like this.
Oh, no.
And
Country is the easiest accent.
It's the
Let me hear.
easiest.
Try to carry it on. So you're having a little conversation. It's
I
like
did.
going, hey, sir, may I help you?
It's yeah, you know what? I was wondering. I'll be all right. It's all right. Okay. Yeah.
Are you sure? We got some great deals over here.
You know what? If I need you, I'll go ahead and I'll talk to you.
But you look kind of familiar to me.
It worked. Gee, this person did not know who I was.
Wow, look at you.
The accent worked, the hair worked, but I had to keep up this ruse the entire time I was there. So now I'm country bird.
How long were you there?
I was there for 20 minutes. So I was singing for my supper. I was doing the work as an actor, but they had no idea.
I don't think you're alone in this. A lot of people talk about the mask. They like it because some people do feel like it does cover up their identity. I know I'm kind of doing that a little bit. I run into somebody the other day when I was at Publix, and like, you look familiar. And I think it's because of the haunting eyes. So it's not working as well for me unless I got sunglasses on.
Yeah. I don't want.
But there are a lot of people that I think are really enjoying the masks for that reason. Now, a lot of people, of course, hate them, but I think that other people find the same advantage where you're able to kind of skirt in and out of uncomfortable social situations. All because people can't tell who you are.
I love talking to people. I don't want people getting twisted thinking that I'm trying to avoid people.
It's
but
just this one guy.
Situation, we all have that. It's dreadful going in there. I get so bummed out when I see this person working because I know it's going to be 30 minutes of just hell. Oh, and you got to be polite.
No getting away.
They want to show you stuff that you just don't give a frog's fat ass about.
Yeah, I think for that reason, some people are happy that the masks are coming back.
Have you ever done that, though? Have you ever had to act like you were somebody else to trick someone to thinking it's not you?
Not in person.
It was kind of exciting.
Role playing.
Yeah, no, definitely avoided people, but not to that level. All right, are you trying to win some serious money today? We have got $1,000 going off with the app cash codes all day long. We started at 7, gave you another code word at 9. You've got one coming up in an hour and 10 minutes at 11 a.m. Then 1, 3, and 4 p.m. More code words coming up with a chance for $1,000 each time. What you do, you download the free 97.9 WRMF app, or you can use our online streaming player at WRMF.com. The After the Show podcast coming up. It's going to be live on YouTube. Just go there and search for the KVJ Show on your flat screen TVs or even your mobile device. You can use their app to check us out. Before we get there, though, Jbird, you wrap up today's show with your thought.
Once you awaken, you will have no interest in judging those who sleep.
The KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.